Good day, and welcome to the Alphatron Signal Management Training Part 3. My name is Warren,
And my name is Donovan.
and today we're going to go through the audio product offerings. Let's begin with the audio de-embedders and converters. The ALF CHKA2 is a small size HDMI 2.0 audio de-embedder with one HDMI input, one HDMI output, and three types of audio outputs. It is designed to extract audio from HDMI signal via stereo balanced left and right audio, analog RCA, and coaxial digital audio output ports.
It supports 4K at 60 Hz, 444, HDR, EDIT, and CEC pass-through, and the transmission rate is up to 18 gigabits per second. There are three audio modes that can be chosen in order for the compatibility with the various audio processing devices, namely pass, bitstream, as well as PCM.
Yes.
As an example, if you had an HDMI cable in a boardroom, ran it to the front where the display is, you could just de-embed the audio from there directly to, let's say, active pair of speakers, and you're done.
Straight through with the CHKA2.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue with the audio equipment. We're going to have a chat about our amplifier offerings.
The Alphatron Pa2b is a compact-sized digital amplifier class D. It has three inputs, two line and one mic, balanced mic inputs. It is integrated with a lot of powerful functions such as bridge connection, dual mono, EQ control, microphone mixing, etc.
The amplifier also supports 2x20 watts at 4 ohm dual mono output and 1x40 watts at 8 ohm bridged output. The unit is controllable via top panel buttons and RS-232. The IR control is an optional extra.
Sure, perfect solution for small huddle rooms or boardrooms with 2 to 4 speakers. Loop outs also available should
Yes.
you need to go to a second amplifier in an adjacent room or whatever the case might be. That's also on there.
Yeah, if you've got those
Helps a
rooms
lot.
that open up, from a conference center or something like that, and it's 3 rooms usually, and then it divides and opens up completely.
Sure.
You have the loop out through, and off you go.
Combination system, yeah.
So the ALF Pa100V is a 40 watt power amplifier with output alternatively at 70 volts or 100 volts as seen on the output. It has two stereo inputs, one 3.5mm jack and for inline, and two RCA for left and right. The digital input and one balanced mic. It is integrated with powerful functions including ducking functionality, EQ control, mic mixer, and the mic input supports 3 levels with condenser mic, dynamic mic, and line audio input.
So just to touch on the outputs there, most of the devices have 100 volts and 70 volts.
Yes.
This one has both.
Yes.
So you can actually select or wire it up according to what you need it to be.
Absolutely. And it's there by the Phoenix connector. It's laid out there for you.
Common 70 volts or 100 volts, however you need it to
Yes,
connect it
how
up.
you need to run it. Right.
Right, so next up we got the PA100W.
Yeah. We've just kicked off from the 100V now. So the 100W is a compact sized digital amplifier with 3 inputs, one left and right stereo audio, one analog audio, one optical fiber audio, but no mic inputs like our PA100V does. And unlike the PA100V, the output is low impedance. It features switchable stereo output, 2x50 watts at 8 ohms, or mono, 100 by 100 watt, 1 by 100 watt at 4 ohms, and boasts complete EQ adjustment.
Also controllable via RS-232,
Yeah.
PCP-IP,
Yeah.
and IR,
That's it right there.
apart from the front panel buttons, of course.
Yes, that you can just run through.
So as an example, medium or large size boardrooms, which requires 4 or more speakers, let's say at 20 watts, perfect product for that application.
Indeed. We're going to move on now to our the bigger range, the last line from our audio amplifiers, and that is the ALF 60, 120, and the 250 options. The one we have in front of you here is the 250 watt. Now these amplifiers are a notch above the previously listed due to the built-in media player with Bluetooth, onboard tuner, and MP3 player. The amplifier has 4 inputs, 2 microphone and 2 RCA, and just note that the AUX2 and Mic2 are selectable via back panel switch as well as EMC output.
Yes, and should you also have a requirement for condenser microphone, the phantom power is
Yes.
switchable on that same back
Right
panel
there.
switch
Yeah.
over there. Yeah. This range of amplifiers, I think, is perfect for, places like pubs, restaurants, even reception areas, I think.
Indeed. What's great as well, I mean, with the USB input on the front there, you can just play the MP3s. It loops through for your restaurant, for instance, so you don't have to worry about anyone adjusting anything or having to play around, essentially. You know?
Yeah, sure. So you can lock it up somewhere and just
And
remotely
off
do
it
its
goes.
thing.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to our speaker range now. We're going to start off with our cabinet speakers, this one over here. So the cabinet speakers that we do offer is the ALF-W-41W or B and the 51W or B. The speakers come in white or black, hence the W or B, and are superb for small to medium boardrooms. The speakers can be tapped at multiple wattages for the 70 or 100 volt line, as well as a tap setting for low impedance. The ALF-W41 is a 20 watt speaker at 8 ohms, where the ALF-51 is a 30 watt speaker at 8 ohms.
Yeah, so like I said, our range of cabinet speakers, 4151. Great, you can have them mounted horizontally or vertically. The bracket allows for that. Obviously, it comes with a bracket as well. Can be tilted with a knob screw, just where you need it to be, tie it up. And your selectable low impedance or 100 volt or 70 volt is just here at the back where you have got your speaker connections.
It's great, it gives you the power tappings
Yeah,
as well. All of it.
100%. So
And then, of course, number 6 is low impedance.
again, great for pubs, restaurants, clubhouses, and the like. I think if you
Sure.
pair them with a guy like this, you'd have a good system going.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's the great thing about having it in white or black as well, because most boardrooms, I've never seen a black wall, do you know what I mean? So this fits in perfectly.
Yeah,
Restaurants and
of
so
course,
on,
depending.
disappears. Yeah,
Nowadays,
absolutely.
guys don't like to have a ceiling. Maybe the ceiling's a bit darker or something
Yeah.
like that. Black speaker just
Yeah.
washes away better.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're going to move on now to the ceiling speakers. The ones that we have on offer for you today are the ALF-C 406 and 606, the 457 and 657 that we'll have a chat about now. But just as a side note, you'll notice that the previous lot we spoke about was the ALF-W 41 and 51. The W after the ALF stands for wall mount, or cabinet speakers, and these end off with the ALF-C, which of course stands for ceiling. Just an easy way for you to remember the difference between the two.
Identify them, yeah.
Absolutely. Now, the ALF-C 406 is a 4-inch driver that supports 70 volt line as well as 8 ohm. The wattage pushed out is 20 watts at 8 ohms, where the ALF-C 606 pushes a maximum of 30 watts at 8 ohms out through its 6-inch driver, and it's also switchable between 70 volt line and 8 ohms. The two different impedance settings helps greatly for the integrator. It really does, as these speakers can be used in amps that support either 70 or 100 volt line or low impedance.
Sure. So, yeah, we tend to use these a lot, or, it goes a lot into executive boardrooms where privacy is a requirement,
Yeah.
because, the back end over here allows for audio to be just distributed directly down and not bleed through the ceiling into adjacent rooms
Sure.
or areas or whatever the case might
Sure.
be. So if you have, let's say, a conference going and you have people talking coming through the speakers, you don't want that going everywhere. If you just want it in the room, obviously backhands help for that. And
Yeah.
both speakers, these ones and the ones we're going to talk about now, both has that. So very important factor to take into consideration when specifying certain products for certain requirements.
Especially, like you mentioned, executive boardrooms.
Yeah.
Those guys aren't having small talk, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And you can't have that
Some
bleed
important
over.
conversations that
Exactly.
might not need to be heard everywhere.
Exactly. So this is the 457 and 657. They're also ceiling mounted with a 4 and 6 inch driver respectively. These speakers also support both low and high impedance. The difference here is the output wattage. The ALF-C 457 belts out 40 watts at 8 ohms, and the ALF-C 657 boasts an impressive 75 watts at 8 ohms.
Yes, so these are basically the bigger brother for the 606s and the 406s. Obviously, with the size, the frequency range, and power handling just be a bit to be superior.
Yeah.
And also, it's got a magnetic grill as opposed to one that goes
You
into
have to
slots,
clip in, yeah.
which is quite helpful. If you have a lot of speakers and you need to be attenuating the power tappings accordingly, that's going to save you a bunch of time.
Sure.
So that's what it looked like there. The power tappings, as mentioned, are inside. Also on the 606 and 406.
Yeah.
Same thing, that's where you'll find it. This one has a steerable tweetle as well inside. And then at the back where you'd do the connection, a little flip open, and then you got your Phoenix connector. Just connect that up, put it in, and close it up.
Yeah.
Nice, neat. Also has a security. If you need
like
to
a
look
fall
up a
arrest
cable,
almost.
yeah,
Yeah.
to make sure it's nice and snug inside. And
Yeah,
it
should
doesn't
anything
look
go
like a
wrong,
fall, you have
with
that
the
as
panel
backup.
itself,
Sure.
at least it is cabled
Secured.
in. Yes, it's
100%.
totally secured.
So that's over there. And next
Great.
up would be the volume control.
Yes, please tell us more about that.
These are a range of inline volume controls in Alphatron. We have the 30 watt, 60 watts, and 120
Yes.
watts. 70 volt attenuator, perfect for stepping volumes up and down in respective areas. You'll obviously need to calculate the wattages in these areas accordingly.
Sure.
And then, choose your attenuator volume control accordingly. So if you put these volume controls in line, everything in front of it or behind it, depends on how you're looking at, will be attenuated accordingly.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what it looks like. Got your little volume control over there. 4x2 box, nice, neat, solid.
Done.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you very much, Donovan.
and your pleasure.
So if there are any questions, we have colleagues standing by to answer them. Michael, do you have any questions from our guests by any chance? Not so far.
Not at the moment. You want to
We'll
give
give it
them
a moment or two. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Waiting
any
eagerness.
questions?
Apparently we don't have any questions so far. So I guess we get to... have a
These
look
are
at the
all
equipment.
available PDFs downloadable from the website,
Yes.
Alphatron Electronics.
.com, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, there's those 4 selectable sites from there as well, depending on the region that you're in.
where you are in, yeah.
Yeah.
Always somebody live online waiting
Always, yeah.
for questions should you have them there at a later stage when you get hold of these and you want to do a bit of troubleshooting. We are online,
Yes.
ready
there
to
to
help and
support.
support.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm. Any questions so far? We're just having a look in the back there. We
Real
have
good,
nothing.
seems like.
Excellent.
Informative crowd.
Yeah, they are. Jeez, well informed. So as we just mentioned, please have a look at our website for more information on the products that we offer. And if you have any questions or need clarification, note that we always have someone online willing to assist however possible, just as Donovan mentioned. So we want to thank you for your attention and taking time to be more informed on our products. Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.